Hi, today we shall learn about real numbers. In ninth class, you learned about real numbers, the collection of rational numbers and irrational numbers. That is what is called the collection of real numbers. That is rational numbers और irrational number को जब इकट्ठे रखते हैं उस कलेक्शन को हम रियल नंबर्स कहते हैं. एंड rational numbers क्या है? Rational numbers or quotient numbers means numbers of the form p by q, numbers which can be written in the form p by q, where p and q integers होना चाहिए, p and q इंटीजर्स होना पड़ेगा और q नॉन ज़ीरो भी होना पड़ेगा, q ज़ीरो नहीं होना है. ऐसा सारे नंबर्स होगा क्वेश्चन नंबर्स. इसमें क्या क्या आते हैं? इसमें आते हैं नेचुरल नंबर्स, दैट इज 1 2 3 4 5 एंड सो ऑन. फिर होल नंबर्स आते हैं, दैट इज 0 1 2 3 4 5 ऑलरेडी आ चुका है. देन z, that is integers, -1, -2, -3, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all these are integers. Then fractional numbers, that is 3 by 7, 1 by 2. Then all the numbers I have written, these are rational numbers because all these numbers can be expressed in the form p by q, where p and q are integers and q not equal to 0. 3 by 18, -17 by 5, all these are there. Perchance you may wonder how natural numbers are than quotient numbers. For example, 3. 3 is a natural number, 3 is a whole number, 3 is integer. Then how it is in the form p by q? That is very simple because 3 by 1 or 6 by 2. So we can write in any such form, that is p by q form. P and q are integers and q not equal to 0. So these are all quotient numbers or rational numbers. Then what about irrational numbers? Irrational numbers are root 2, root 5, pi, 3.27, 2772, etc. So these are all irrational numbers, numbers which cannot be expressed in the p by q form. What about root 4? Root 4 is 2 and 2 is 2 by 1, so that is a rational number. So that is a rational number. लेकिन रूट सेवन बोलेगा तो दैट इज अ इरेशनल नंबर. देन पाई मीन्स 3.1415926 and so on, going on and going on. नॉन टर्मिनेटिंग एंड नॉन रिकरिंग, कोई पैटर्न रिपीट नहीं हो रहा, सिमिलरली कदम भी नहीं हो रहा, ऐसा सारे नंबर्स इरेशनल नंबर्स. सो याद कीजिए, राशनल नंबर्स और इरेशनल नंबर्स को जो इकट्ठे रखते हैं इसको कहते हैं रियल नंबर्स. एंड वी शैल स्टडी सम मोर प्रॉपर्टीज अबाउट रियल नंबर्स इन 10th क्लास. फर्स्ट वन विल बी यूक्लिड्स डिविजन लेम्मा. यूक्लिड्स डिविजन लेम्मा सुन के आपको घबराने का कोई भी आवश्यकता नहीं है. जो डिविजन प्रोसेस आपको आता है उसको एक सिस्टमैटिक वे में मैक्सिमम कैसे कैसे डिवाइड करना एक कानून की तरह बताते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, वी नो हाउ टू डिवाइड 15 by 2. सो 15 को 2 से कैसे बांटने हैं. सो यू नो 7 as the quotient, 7 2s are 14, then we are getting 1 as the remainder. And you know 15 is called dividend. 15 is called dividend. 15 is called a dividend. 7 is called a quotient. 7 is called a quotient. And 1 is the remainder. 1 is the remainder. And what about 2? 2 is a divisor. So you know all these things. Then one more thing we can understand here, that is 15 is equal to 2 into 7 plus 1. So what I am telling you, dividend is equal to dividend, that is 15 here, dividend is equal to 2 into, that is divisor. 2 means divisor. So divisor into 7 means quotient. 7 means quotient. Then plus 1. 1 is in the remainder. So this equation will be true every time. Then another doubt comes here. Can we divide 15 by 2 in some other way? Suppose we are writing it say another way. Say 15 एक्चुअली ऐसा प्रॉपर डिविजन नहीं है, लेकिन कैसे हम देखेंगे. एक बच्चा ऐसे लिखा, फॉर एग्जाम्पल उन्होंने 6 बार लिखा. सो 6 टाइम 2 मीन्स 12, देन 3 लिख दिया. सो इधर भी बात तो वही है. 15 इज इक्वल टू 2 इंटू 6 प्लस 3. ये तो सही है, लेकिन इसको एक डिविजन प्रोसेस माना नहीं जाता है. ये कंप्लीट डिविजन नहीं हुआ. और दूसरे एक बच्चों ने लिखा 15 को 2 से बांटो. उन्होंने 8 टाइम लिखा. 8 इंटू 2 16 लिखा, फिर -1 लिखा. इधर भी 15 इज इक्वल टू 2 इंटू 8 प्लस -1 आता है. ये सही है. सो फिर कौन सा डिविजन पक्का माना जाए? दैट इज देयर आर 3 टाइप्स डिविजन. मैंने अभी आपको दिखाया. कौन सा दोबारा देखिए. 15 by 2 7, 14 द रिमाइंडर 1 इसको दिखाया है. देन दूसरा क्या दिखाया? दैट इज 15 by 2 देन 6 देन 12 देन 3 दिखाया. और तीसरा दिखाया है 15 by 2 देन 8 देन 16 देन -1. इसमें कौन सा डिविजन सही है? सो हम पहला वाले को ही सही माना जाएगा. ये आप जानते भी हैं. दूसरा और तीसरा हम सही नहीं मानते. क्यों? उसका कोई प्रैक्टिकल रीजन है क्या? चलो हम देखेंगे. हमारे पास 15 बॉल्स है. हाउ मेनी? 15 बॉल्स है. ये 15 बॉल्स को हमें बांटना है 2 ईच. 2 बॉल्स में बांटना है. सो चले हम कैसे कैसे बांटते हैं. सो पहला ट्रे में हमने 2 बॉल रख दिया. दूसरे में हमने 2 बॉल रख दिया. तीसरे में हमने 2 बॉल रख दिया. देन इस ट्रे में भी रख दिया. 2 बांटना है. सो हमने 2 ऐसे बांट के जा रहे हैं. सो देखिए अभी क्या हो गया. सो टोटल नंबर ऑफ बॉल्स 15. टोटल नंबर ऑफ बॉल्स जो 15 दिया था, ये तो फिक्सड नंबर बॉल्स थे, है ना. देन 2 बांटना बताया. सो ये भी फिक्स थे. 2 बांटना था, ये भी फिक्स है. एंड 2 बांटना कितना ट्रे में हो गया? सो 7 ट्रेस में हो गया. ये भी फिक्स हो गया. सो एंड 1 बॉल रह गया. 1 बॉल रह गया ना. 1 बॉल रह गया. ये भी फिक्स हो गया है. सो इसी प्रकार हम बांट सकते हैं. तब आप सोचेगा पहले में ये सेकंड में क्या प्रॉब्लम था. 15 से 2 से बांट के 6 लिखने में और 3 बच गया क्या प्रॉब्लम. लेकिन हमें पता है 3 बॉल्स अभी हमारे पास है, तो एक और ट्रे में 2 बॉल रख सकता था ना. सो इसलिए डिविजन उधर ही अधूरा है, कंप्लीट नहीं हुआ. और तीसरा केस तो बिल्कुल पॉसिबल नहीं है, बिकॉज 15 बॉल्स 2 बांटना है 8 ट्रे में कैसे रखेगा, तो इम्पॉसिबल केस है. सो इसलिए सही सलामत डिविजन वही है 15 डिवाइड बाई 2 देन 7 to 14 देन रिमाइंडर 1 है. इसमें और भी कुछ बात है. दैट इज जो रिमाइंडर हमें मिला है, इधर रिमाइंडर क्या मिला दोबारा देखिए. दैट इज 7 2 देन रिमाइंडर इज 1. एंड इस रिमाइंडर का वैल्यू हमेशा जो डिवाइसर था, क्या था डिवाइसर 2 से कम होना चाहिए. सिमिलरली इसका वैल्यू 0 या 0 से बड़ा होना चाहिए. नहीं तो तीसरा प्रकार का डिविजन आप ले सकते हैं, बिकॉज इधर डिवाइसर बिल्कुल -1 2 से कम है. ये डिवाइसर से कम है नो डाउट, लेकिन ये 0 से बड़ा नहीं है, इसलिए उसको भी हमने छोड़ दिया. सो इसको एक परफेक्ट वे में बताया गया है यूक्लिड. सो यूक्लिड ने क्या बताया, 2 नंबर्स हमें देते हैं. फॉर एग्जाम्पल पॉजिटिव इंटीजर्स a एंड b हमें दे दिया. ऐसा 2 इंटीजर्स हमें दे दिया तो अनदर 2 इंटीजर्स q एंड r हम ले सकते हैं. दैट इज दिस इज व्हाट इज a एंड दिस इज व्हाट इज b. देन we are That is, here, when two numbers are given to us, that is A and B are two numbers given to us, A and B, which are A and B, dividend and divisor. Then another two numbers, Q and R, आप ले सकते हैं, Q and R आप निकाल सकते हैं, यूनिक वे में निकाल सकते हैं. मैंने बताया क्यों यूनिक है, ताकि एवरीथिंग फिक्स हो जाता है ना. सो जब 15 भी फिक्स है, डिविडेंड फिक्स है, डिवाइसर फिक्स है, तो ऑटोमेटिकली क्वोशिएंट और रिमाइंडर फिक्स हो जाते हैं. इसलिए क्यू एंड आर फिक्स हो जाते हैं, यूनिक है. यूनिक का मतलब है एक ही तरीका आप निकाल सकते हैं, दूसरा कोई तरीका नहीं होगा आपके पास. देन उसमें दो प्रॉपर्टीज होगा, जो मैंने बताया वही है. क्या है? ए इज इक्वल टू बी क्यू प्लस आर, दैट इज डिविडेंड इज इक्वल टू डिवाइसर इंटू क्वोशिएंट प्लस रिमाइंडर. अब रिमाइंडर में क्या क्या प्रॉपर्टी होगा मैंने बताया आपको. रिमाइंडर में क्या प्रॉपर्टी होगा? रिमाइंडर जीरो या जीरो से अधिक होना चाहिए, बड़ा होना चाहिए. और डिवाइसर, डिवाइसर क्या था? डिवाइसर इज बी, डिवाइसर इज बी, बी से छोटा होना पड़ेगा. सो जीरो लेस्तान और सिकल टू आर लेस्तान बी होना पड़ेगा. सो इसको कहते हैं यूक्लिड्स डिविजन लेम्मा. दैट इज यूक्लिड्स डिविजन लेम्मा सेज given positive integers a and b, given positive integers a and b, there exists unique integers q and r, that is quotient और रिमाइंडर फिक्स हो जाते हैं, हर एक के लिए एक ही मिलेगा. दैट्स द मीनिंग. देन क्या क्या प्रॉपर्टी होगा? ए इज इक्वल टू बी क्यू प्लस आर होगा, और रिमाइंडर आर के लिए क्या कंडीशन होगा? जीरो या जीरो से अधिक होगा, और डिवाइसर बी से कम होगा. इसको कहते हैं यूक्लिड्स डिविजन लेम्मा. एक बार और सुनिए. गिवन पॉजिटिव इंटीजर्स ए एंड बी, given positive integers a and b, that is dividend और divisor देते हैं, then we can find quotient and remainder in a unique way, satisfying the property a is equal to bq plus r and 0 less than or is equal to r less than b. इसको कहते हैं यूक्लिड्स डिविजन लेम्मा. And you know the word lemma. Lemma means a proven statement. A lemma is a proven statement used for proving another statement. That is, लेम्मा का प्रूफ होता है और उस लेम्मा दूसरा स्टेटमेंट से प्रूव करने के लिए यूज करते हैं. ऐसा स्टेटमेंट को लेम्मा कहा जाएगा. सो वी आर सेइंग यूक्लिड्स डिविजन लेम्मा. अनदर थिंग इज एल्गोरिदम. एल्गोरिदम मीन्स ये प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करने का सिस्टमैटिक अप्रोच है. That is, an algorithm is a series of well-defined steps which gives a procedure for solving a type of problem. So, आपको याद करना है. So, lemma means क्या है? Lemma is a proven statement used for proving another statement. Now, Euclid's division lemma follow करके 22 को 5 से कैसे बांटा जाएगा? सो वेरी सिंपल. हम 22 लिखेगा, देन 5 से डिवाइड करेगा. सो 4 5 आर 20, देन रिमाइंडर 2, एंड यू कैन सी दैट दिस 2 इज ऑफ कोर्स ग्रेटर देन और इक्वल टू 0, एंड इट इज स्ट्रिक्टली लेस देन, मीन्स 5 से कम होना चाहिए. 5 मीन्स डिवाइसर, डिवाइसर से कम होना पड़ेगा. Then also you can see 22 is equal to 5 into 4 plus 2. So that is correct. So according to Euclid's division lemma, इसी प्रकार आपको बांटना पड़ेगा. And ये division हर एक के लिए एक ही जैसे मिलेगा. That is why lemma saying very correctly that there exists a unique integers. There exists unique integers. Unique means हर एक को एक ही जैसे मिलेगा. Now let us see some applications of this Euclid's division lemma. So we can find the HCF of two numbers. You know, highest common factor HCF of numbers, say 455, 455 and 42. What should be the HCF? So now we can apply Euclid's division lemma to find the HCF of two numbers. For example, how to find HCF, highest common factor of the numbers, that is 4, 55 and 42. That's very simple. We can write 455, the larger number is equal to, we are dividing 455, the larger number by the smaller number, then we know 10 will be the quotient, then we can have 420 and 35 is the remainder, like this. So that you know. So 455 is equal to 42 divisor into quotient plus remainder 35, remainder 35, that we can. Then again we shall take the present divisor and remainder, that is 42 is equal to, this time we shall divide 42 by 35, that is 135, 35 then 7, so we can write 35 into 1 plus 7. Then again we shall proceed with this 35 and 7, that is 35 will be the dividend this time and divisor will be the remainder 7. So what we are getting, 5 into 7, 35, remainder will be 0. So we can write 35 is equal to 7 into 5 plus 0. And when the remainder is 0, in that division stage, which is the divisor? That is 7. So this 7 will be the highest common factor. So this way we can find the HCF of two numbers. So once again I will tell you 4, 5, 5, then 42. So what do we have to do? First of all we have to divide 455 by 42. That is 455 is equal to 42 into 10 plus 35. Then we will proceed with the 42 and 35. Then 42 will be the dividend, that is 42 is equal to 35 into 1 plus 7. Now what we shall do? We shall proceed with the 35 and 7, that is 35 is equal to 7 into 5 plus 0. When at this stage where the remainder is 0, the divisor, that will be the highest common factor. One more example we shall find to find the HCF, to find the HCF of 420 and 130. So what we have to do? So we have to divide 420 by 130. So you know 3 times that is 130, 390 it will be, then the remainder will be 30. So we can write 420 is equal to 130 into 3 plus 30. Now what we have to do? We have to take this and this, divisor and remainder, in the next stage as the dividend and divisor. So 130, we have to divide 130 by 30. So that we are doing 130, we have to divide by 30. Then how many times 30 will be there? That is 4 into 30, 120. Then 10 will be there. So we can write 30 into 4 plus 10. Then the very next stage we shall take 30 and 10. So that is 30 is equal to 10 into 3 plus 0. So when the remainder is 0, the divisor at that stage, that will be the HCF. Therefore HCF of 420 and 130 will be 10. Now let us consider a weird problem. A seed seller has a 420 Kaju burfis and 130 Badam burfis. She wants to stack them in such a way that each stack has the same number and take up the least area of the tray. What is the number of that can be placed in each stack for this purpose? That is 420 Kaju Burfis and 130 Badam Burfis, we have to stack them. Each stack will have same number and the total number of stacks should be as small as possible. That is why least area of the tray it should take. So here the idea is nothing but we have to find the HCF of 420 and 130. That we know already HCF of 420 and 130. So how to find it? I already explained. That is 420 is equal to 130 into 3 plus 30, and then we have to take these two. So 130 is equal to 30 into 4 plus 10, and we have to take these two numbers. That is 30 is equal to 10 into 3 plus 0. Then at this stage the divisor will be HCF. Therefore, 42 Kaju Burfis can be stacked in 42 stacks of 10 each, and 130 Badam Burfis 13 stacks of 10 each. So you understand that each stack has equal number of burfis. So very interesting. So this is a wonderful application of this what we can say lemma we learned in this class. So another problem is an army contingent of 616 members is to march behind an army band of 32 members in a parade. The two groups are to march in the same number of columns. What is the maximum number of columns in which they can march? Here also we have to find the same technique. We have to find the HCF of 616 and 32. We have to find. So that is very simple. Left as a homework. Now we shall see some more application of Euclid's division lemma. Show that every positive even integer is of the form 2q, and that every positive odd integer is of the form 2q plus 1, where q is some integer. So how to tackle this problem? So let a be any positive integer. Let a be any positive integer. And here divisor b is given to be 2. Why? Because in the form 2q plus 1 and 2q we can guess it. So b is equal to 2. Now what we are going to do, we shall divide a by b. B is 2 here. So we shall have some quotient and then we can have remainder r. So according to Euclid's division lemma, a is equal to bq means 2q here plus r. And what about r? 0 less than or is equal to small r less than b. B means 2 here. So which are the possible values of small r? R is equal to either 0 or 1. Only these two possibilities. So using these two values, we can have a is equal to 2q plus 0. R is 0. So plus 0 means 2q. And when a is equal to 2q, when r is equal to 1, 2q plus 1. So we have two forms. And you can see that in the first case, when it is 2q form means that 2 is a factor and so it is even. And if the integer is not even, it should be odd. Therefore, odd integer should be of the form 2q plus 1. So it is very clear. Even integer will be of the form 2q and odd integer will be of the form 2q plus 1. Now let us solve another problem. That is again wonderful application of a Euclid's division lemma. As I told you, show that any positive odd integer is of the form 4q plus 1 or 4q plus 3, where q is some integer. So actually it is correct. For example, if you take a 15 means This is of the form 4q plus 3 form, because that is 4 into 3, 12 plus 3, so it is correct. And if you take another one, say 13, then 13 is equal to 4q plus 1 form. Why? Because 4 into 3 plus 1 form. So this way we can verify the result. But here we have to prove it. So how to prove it? That is very simple. What we shall do is, let A be any positive odd integer. Let A be any positive odd integer. And we choose b is equal to 4. I told you we can guess it from the question itself, because when 4q is there and 4q plus, then we are having bq plus r form, no? So we can guess b is equal to 4. So we choose b is equal to 4. Then suppose we divide a by 4. If we divide a by 4, we can have some quotient q and then some remainder r. That is a is equal to 4q plus r. And what about the condition for r? Condition imposed on r is 0 less than or is equal to small r less than b. B means here 4. So what are the possible values for r? R can be 0, or it can be 1, or it can be 2, or it can be 3. So using these 4 values of r, we can write this as a is equal to the first value of r, that is 0. So that is equal to 4q we can have. And the second case, that is a is equal to 4q plus 1, where r is 1 also we have taken, 0 also taken. Then again we shall go for third case, that is when r is equal to 2. So that is 4q plus 2. And the last case, a is equal to 4q plus 3. And here you can see that in the number 4q, 2 is a factor, isn't it? Similarly, 4q plus 2, that also is 2 into 2q plus 1, so 2 is a factor. So in the first case and in the third case, 2 is a factor, hence it cannot be odd, and a is odd number. We have taken odd integer, odd positive integer. Therefore, we have to avoid these two cases. So the remaining cases are a is equal to 4q plus 1 or a is equal to 4q plus 3, which are meant for odd positive integers. Why we left the first and the third? I told you, when 2 is a common factor in the first and the third case, then it cannot be odd integer. It should be even then. So we are leaving those cases. We are left with the two cases. So a is equal to 4q plus 1 and a is equal to 4q plus 3. Hence the proof, that is, every positive odd integer is of the form either 4q plus 1 or 4q plus 3. Another problem from NCERT exercise is like this. Use Euclid's division lemma to show that the square of any positive integer is either of the form 3m or 3m plus 1 for some integer m. So here also we are doing in the same way as earlier. Let a be any positive integer. Let a be any positive integer. Any positive integer. And we shall take a b is equal to 3. And you know that when we write a is equal to, say we can divide by 3, then some quotient q will be there, some remainder will be there. So we can write a is equal to 3q plus r, where 0 less than or is equal to r less than b. B means 3. So which are the possible values? R is equal to 0, or it can be 1, or it can be 2. Means up to 3, less than 3 we have to take. Then what will happen to this one? This can be a is equal to 3q plus 0. That's over. Then a is equal to 3q plus r. R means 1. Second case. And the third case, a is equal to 3q plus 2. Now what we want square of these numbers. That is, we have to take the square of this a. Then a square of positive integer, that is 3q the whole square. 3q the whole square. 3q the whole square means 9q square. And you know that 9q squared means we can write 3 into 3q square. That is 3 into m, where m is nothing but 3q square, an integer. So square of the first case, that is when a is equal to 3q, that is 3m. Then go for the second case. Then in the second case, what will happen? In the second case, you can see this is the second case. Then we are going to square it. That is 3q plus 1 the whole square, isn't it? So using a plus b whole square, we can expand. That is 3q square. What is 3q square? That is 3q whole square. Then plus 2 into ab, 3q into 1 plus b square means 1 square, isn't it? Then what is it? That is, we can simplify 9q square plus 6q plus 1. So that is equal to 3 we can take outside. Then 3q square plus 2q plus 1. So we can write this time, that is some 3 into some integer m plus 1. We are taking this as integer m. So 3m plus 1. Then again, let us go with the third case. What is a is equal to in the third case? In the third case, a is equal to 3q plus 2. Then we have to square. So a square is equal to 3q plus 2 the whole square. That is 3q the whole square plus 2 into 3q into 2 plus 2 square, isn't it? So that is equal to 9q square will come. Then 2 into 3, 6 into 2, 12q will come. 12q plus 4 will come. Then that is equal to 9q square plus 12q plus 3 plus 1. Then we can take a 3 from this as a common factor. Then what we are getting? That is 3 into 3q square plus 4q plus 1 plus 1. So we can write this as 3 into. We shall write this as the integer m this time. So that is 3m plus 1. So we have only two forms, either 3m form or 3m plus 1. So the result says square of any positive integer is either of the form 3m or of the form 3m plus 1. You see, we have only two forms. Either we go to 3m, and in the second case we go to 3m plus 1, and in the third case, last case we got. So only two forms are there, 3m or 3m plus 1. Hence the result. Another problem. Use Euclid's division lemma to show that the cube of any positive integer is of the form 9m, 9m plus 1 or 9m plus 8. So here, let a be any positive integer. Let a be any positive integer. We shall take b is equal to 3. b is equal to 3. Then what will happen? We will divide a by b, that is 3. Some quotient q will be there, some remainder r will be there. then A is equal to, as per division lemma, BQ 3Q plus R, where what about the condition imposed on R? 0 less than or is equal to R less than 3. So the possible values of R 0, 1, 2. So what will happen? So that is A is equal to the first case when R is equal to 0, 3Q. Then second case when R is equal to 1, 3Q plus 1. And the third case A is equal to 3Q plus 2. Now we have to cube all this. That is, the first one we shall cube. What about the first one? A is equal to 3Q. Then cubing we get A cube is equal to 3 cube means 27 cube. That is equal to 9 into 3Q cube. We shall put this 3Q cube as m. So that is 9m form. So we have to show that it will be either 9m form or 9m plus 1 form or 9m plus 8. So in the first case it is 9m form. Okay. Now in the second case A is equal to 3Q plus 1. So cubing, what will be there? A cube is equal to 3Q cube plus 3 into 3Q the whole square into 1 plus 3 into 3Q into 1 square, correct, plus 1 cube. This expansion. So which implies A cube is equal to 27Q cube, the first one. Then what about this one? That is 3 into 3 square. So once again 27 Q square will come. Then third one 9Q will come. Correct, no? Third one will be 9Q. 9Q. Then 1Q means 1 will come. So you can see that everywhere we are having 9 common factor up to this stage. So we can take a 9 outside. Remainder what is left with that is 3Q cube plus 3Q square plus Q then plus 1. So we will put this as the integer m. So that is 9m plus 1. That is the second form. Then again we have to take the third case. What is the third case? That is A is equal to 3Q plus 2. This is our third form. So we have to cube it. That is A cube is equal to 3Q plus 2 the whole cube. So which implies A cube is equal to 3Q the whole cube plus 3 into 3Q the whole square into 2 plus 3 into 3Q into 2 square plus 2 cube. Now what will happen? Let us see. That is 27Q cube plus then 3 square means 9 into 3. That is 27 into 2, 54 Q square will come. Correct, no? Then plus 3 into 3, that is 9. Then 4. So 36 Q will come. Then 8 will come. And again you can see that all these terms, all the 3 terms, first 3 terms will be having 9 as a common factor. So you can take it outside. Then remaining is 3Q cube will be there. Then 6Q square will be there. Then 4Q will be there. Then plus 8 will be there. So you can see that is again we choose this as our integer m, then 9m plus 8. So we could prove that either the cube will be of a 9m form that we have seen in the first case. You see here it is 9m form, or we got in the second form that is 9m plus 1 form, 9m plus 1, 9m plus 1 form, or we have the third form. So the result is proved. Either the cube will be of 9m form or it will be of non-m plus 1 form, or it will be non-m plus 8 form. So here we need not take a and divisor 9. Then also we can prove, because then it will be little bit there will be computational complexity little bit. That is why instead of taking 9, we are taking 3 as the divisor. Then cubing, automatically 9 will be coming. That is the technique we applied. So nothing harmful here. So the problem got solved.